Nizgav Hashem levadai, Hashem levadai v'yoyim ha'hu, Nizgav Hashem levadai, Hashem levadai v'yoyim ha'hu, Yaakov levadai v'yeyavek Shema. Shaya will save the seat for Michal, okay?
How much does the share cost?
These?
This share.
This share, whatever you want to give. This is a free share.
Okay.
Take another one down to Michal. We'll have the plastic also.
You expected me to come. You had
Yaakov levadai v'yeyavek Avada loisa shochar, avada loisa shochar. Yivasel Yaakov levadai v'yeyavek Shemai. Avada loisa shochar, avada loisa shochar. Nizgav levadai, Hashem levadai v'yoyim ha'hu, Nizgav Hashem levadai, levadai v'yoyim ha'hu, Yaakov levadai v'yeyavek Shemai. Avada loisa shochar, avada shochar. Yivasel Yaakov levadai v'yeyavek Shemai. Avada loisa shochar, avada loisa shochar. Okay, we're on page 231.
By the way,
Lo yidach mimeno nidach.
what we were talking about yesterday, they're talking about when we were learning it, I was skeptical about this because remember I questioned you on this, and I tried it out. That's to see. I wanted very, very much to daven Shacharis, to daven the Midah Shacharis, Mikol Libi. I davened for it at the beginning, and I said, "This is in your hands." You know, the older I get, the more familiar I get with God.
You know him longer.
Yeah. And I really wanted to. And for the first time, I didn't have the solutions to all my problems coming to my mind. First time. Because usually when I done the
You get full of thoughts about other things.
this time didn't happen.
Oh, Hashem.
So it's good that I found here.
Michal has this way of beautiful, gentle Muslim that he gives us. Hashem.
I would have known 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. You said Kaddish for...
I didn't say it tonight, but I went Did you?
He
take-
did,
I did,
yeah.
I did all the Kaddish.
I was in shul last night, but I couldn't get up for midnight.
Yeah, but you're going to be at Mincha by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll see it Mincha? Good. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Excuse me if the phone rings, my son is not well.
That should be well, yeah. So, lo yidach mimeno nidach. That means nobody really gets pushed away from God. And in the Parsha it says, "Vata amachta hitei veiti b'moch." Good morning. Good morning, Shmuley. What? With huh?
It's hot. You don't really like this thing.
Okay.
It's hot.
So you shut it up?
I don't remember your name.
It got hot outside.
I just have to apply that principle to my children.
So wait till
So I remember their name.
electricity.
Vata amachta hitei veiti b'moch. Page 231. You said Yaakov Avinu is davening before meeting with Esav. One of the things he says, Rebbeinu Shalom, you were going to do good with me. Heitei veiti, you will continue to do good with me. קודם שיצא יעקב אבינו למסעו לארץ ישראל Hashem. Before Yaakov went on his journey to Israel, he said to Hashem, "Vata amachta hitei veiti b'mach." You said that I will do good shepherd to Yaakov mevakesh me'Hashem sheyikayem et habtachato. Simple meaning is that Yaakov is asking Hashem to fulfill his promise. V'yeh tov klapav, and that he should be good to him. Hashem yetiv liYaakov. But what does it mean that Hashem should be good to Yaakov? Sheribono shel olam yafkid kesef b'cheshbon habank shel Yaakov. Does it mean that he should put money into his bank account כדי שיוכל לשלם את המיסים שלו, pay his taxes? הגמרא אומרת שמי שעושה תשובה מאהבה, where it says that when someone does tshuva out of love, זדונות נעשים לו כזכויות. His willful transgressions become like merits, they become like mitzvahs. זה כל כך עמוק, this is so deep. בכל פעם שאתם נזכרים בעבירה, every time that you remember a transgression that you did, זה נותן לכם את הכוח להשתנות. It gives you the opportunity to change. כי במבט לאחור, because looking, that doesn't work very well here.
Doesn't work?
Want a pencil or pen?
Pen. Yeah. Thanks. Sorry.
I get it back. So every time that you remember a transgression that you've done, זה נותן לכם את הכוח להשתנות, it gives you the opportunity to, כי במבט לאחור, because looking back, כל הטעויות שעשיתם הן חלק מהדרך שהובילה לכך שעכשיו אתם טובים. When you look back, all the mistakes that you've done are part of the journey which brought you to where you are now. Now that you're good, the mistakes were part of the journey. במבט לאחור, שום דבר לא קרה בטעות. When you look back, not by mistake. מה שיעקב אבינו שאל את השם הוא, so what Yaakov was really asking Hashem was, האם תוכל להבטיח לי, can you promise me, שאפילו העבירות שלו בסופו של דבר לזכויות. Can you promise me that even the should ultimately be transformed into mitzvot?
Did Yaakov do anything wrong? That he should say this?
No. I'm not going to say that I know that he did or not. He's giving a parish over here that this is what Yaakov is praying for. Gemara אומרת Hashem Hashem, right in the 13th after it starts off Hashem Hashem. The Gemara says, why did it say Hashem twice? Anihu kodem sheyachteh adam before the person transgresses. Anihu la'achar sheyachteh adam, and I'm the same Hashem after the person transgresses. V'yaseh tshuva, and does tshuva. כשנאבק יעקב אבינו עם עשיו, Avinu was wrestling with Esav, who התחנן, or with Esav's archangel. He was who התחנן להשם, בבקשה תראה לי באופן הכי ברור, please show me in the clearest way, שלעולם לא אוכל להתרחק ממך. Show me that I'll never really be far away from you. That I never can be far away from you. שלעולם לא תדחה אותי, that you'll never push me away. שאפילו אם אעבור את העבירה החמורה ביותר, that even if I'm going to do the worst transgression, אתה תהפוך את זה לזכות, that you'll transform it into something meritorious. השם ליעקב אבינו שאי אפשר להתרחק ממנו באמת. I told Yaakov that it's really, truly impossible to be from Hashem. Yaakov lo ratzah lechyot, he didn't want to live. הוא רצה לדעת שם זה פשוט בלתי אפשרי. He wanted to know that it's impossible to be far from God. So that's how he's learning Pshat, and that's how he's interpreting Heitei Veiti Vimach. Right? I will do good with you, and I will do even more good. Right? That even the transgressions could be transformed into Zechiyot. What's Pshat in that? Hold on. So the Gemara says that if somebody does tshuva meir, if somebody does tshuva out of fear, so then the willful transgressions are transformed into shogeg, into shogeg, into unintentional transgressions. And if someone does tshuva me'ahava, if someone does tshuva out of love, so then you can look in both of these, okay? If somebody does tshuva out of fear, then the transgressions that were done intentionally get downgraded to unintentional transgressions. And if somebody does, then the willful transgressions get transformed into. The parable that I once heard for that was, for example, if a string tears, right, and then you tie it together, which is now the strongest part of the string? Or you may do not. Understand? That's tshuva out of love. In other words, he feels that, wow, like I had a tear over here and I want to reconnect it, right? He's doing tshuva out of fear. It's just, I don't want to get into trouble for this so much. So Hashem says, okay, we'll downgrade it to the shogeg. But if what's bothering him is, how could I have separated myself so far from Hashem, and I love Hashem and I want to be connected, so then that becomes like the strongest part of the connection.
Why does someone have to go through the experience to that strengthening?
Good question.
It's a good question. I was just reading Reb Riskin's book, Listening to God, and Reb Riskin has achieved great things in life. He studied with many great people. With Reb Soloveitchik, he was an underground shliach, believe it or not, and he had occasion to be with Rav Kahanim and Olav Shalom. And some people, like they come into the world and they're dreaming about all these mitzvahs that they're going to do, and some people that come into the world and they're dreaming about all the aveiros that they want to do. Why is it like this for one person and like this for another person? I have no idea. But it's already neshama stuff and Kabbalah stuff, and I don't know. But when you look back on your life and you look back and you see all the difficult things that you went through and all the mistakes that you made, and you try to do something with it, you try to make a positive change with it, you eventually realize, I wouldn't be doing all the things that I'm doing now had I not gone through all that. Why did I particularly have to go through this particular journey, and why did you have to go through your particular journey? Why didn't Hashem inspire you to wearing a black hat and dressing like on the Lakewoods completely? What does Hashem want from you? You'll have to figure that out. You were given a set of life experiences in your younger years that led you to Tzfat. I guess Hashem wanted you in Tzfat. Right?
Would it be a testing?
It's always a testing, sure. You're always being tested.
Could one extrapolate and say life is a test?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a test. In other words, you're a human being. You have free choice, right? You're not a little you're not a malach that your Rebbe told you to do this and you always did that and so on. You're a human being. You test it. Everybody has, I avoid buying, I won't wear something with the designer's name on the outside because I have my own personal designer, the Reb Shlomo. I don't need to put Ralph Lauren's name on my shirts, or anybody like that. Hashem is my designer, right?
I never heard that before.
What Ralph Lauren? Of course not.
No. About
You never saw clothes like that?
No, I know clothes about it. But the reason why one wouldn't have it.
But what do I need? And I need let him put on clothes with my name on it. I don't,
I love coming here. You come up with the excellent expression.
Yeah. I need to wear his clothes.
I was going to Shemaim as well. We were talking.
Huh?
Shemaim as well. We were talking about the Ralph Lauren store this morning. There's one in Ramat Aviv, and there's one here and so on.
They're not be right. Okay. So.
I just want to say that I think in terms of the question, your question, I think it was a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think with life experience, you'll understand it. We'll all understand it more. The way to grow often involves struggle and pain. No pain, no gain. Sometimes that's true.
And I feel
It's true for a relationship. I think it's true for a relationship. Learning how to do a relationship is true for individuals.
Okay, let's go. That's basically what I told him.
Yeah.
One problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yaakov's in love with Hashem, obviously. Okay, so that's a very big thing. That's how he got through a lot of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes so much to do the tshuva out of love thing. You know what I mean? So why can't you get a little more credit for just doing the tshuva? Because God, I know it's a lower love, but
So let me ask you a question. So if a kid went on a rampage through the house and messed up the house, and then times come home, he decides that he better clean up because he knows he's going to be in hot water.
Been there.
So he's doing tshuva out of fear.
Okay.
So his parents should hug him and say, "Oh wow, they're going to say, why'd you do it in the first place?"
Okay.
Right.
Totally.
That's tshuva meira.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a good. So he's forgiven. He's downgraded, in other words, but still you shouldn't have done it. You understand? When somebody is doing tshuva out of love, it's like, and the kid realizes, wow, I really love my parents, and I really don't want them to feel bad, and I really want them to feel good, and so on.
Oh.
So what
Okay,
he's doing everything now out of love. So the reaction from his parents are going to be more loving.
So how does one like develop? I know it's a stupid question. Develop that last week, so the thing was praying. Okay, got that.
How do you develop the love? So the Alter Rebbe, the introduction to the second book of the Tanya, he teaches meditations over there. And the meditations are basically about realizing that what is your innermost essence. When you say, I love myself, who is the self? Right? Is the self your stomach? Is the self your face, your hands, your body? Obviously, the more you think about it, you realize that your real self is your inner self, which is your neshama. Say you love yourself, you really love your neshama. And when you start thinking about, is my neshama, who is the essence of my neshama, you come to the realization it's the Rebbeinu Shalom. So your deepest self-love is, but you have to bring that into your consciousness. You understand? It's not just a matter of like intellectually reasoning that out, but actually experiencing it that way.
So self-love is really self-loving God.
So when you reach that awareness, otherwise, like I told you, like the Kosker went over to the Chassid and put his hands on his stomach and said, Shalom Aleichem Shabbos. And the Chassid said, what? And he says, no, you're always saying the Kodesh Shabbos. You're always patting your stomach when you're saying the Kodesh Shabbos. So that's your Shabbos, obviously, right? So, page 232. So when holiness spreads. So before we were singing the song Vayivater Yaakov Levado, Yaakov was left all by himself, right? He had just taken his family across the Yabok River, and he went back to get some. So Rashi says, why was he there all alone? So Rashi says, Shachach Chazar Aleim. He had forgotten some little container, and he went back to get them. There's a whole bunch of midrashim about this, and relates it to Chanukah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But now, I think Reb Shlomo is going in a bit of a different direction. We don't have anybody trying to take away Avraham Avinu's possessions. Nobody ever said that Avraham Avinu stole from him, or Yitzchak ganav mimenu, or that Yitzchak stole from him. But Yaakov, kol chayav ba'u elav b'tviyot u'betanot. Yaakov, all his life, people were coming to him with demands and arguments. Zal mimenu et kol hano. Esav took away all his possessions when he was running away, right? He had sent his son Eliphaz to go and kill him, and Eliphaz caught him before he crossed the river, and he said, "What am I supposed to do? Like, my kid, but I don't want to kill you. You taught me Torah." So Yaakov said, "Take away." Poor man is considered like only choshev kemeis. Poor man is considered like he's dead. So it's as if you killed me. Lavan ta'an sheYaakov ganav mimenu et hakol. Lavan argued that Yaakov took everything away from him, that he stole everything from him. By the way, you should find it. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs wrote an article about the development of anti-Semitism with Lavan as the progenitor of all that. I don't want to go into it now, but I'm just telling you, you can find it either on the Rutz Sheva or it was in the OU tidbits that you brought us also, or on, I don't know where his blogs appear, either at Rutz Sheva or Times of Israel, but you can find it, or even on Google.
I have extra copies of it, so if anybody wants
Yeah.
it, just let me know.
It's worthwhile. It's a worthwhile. Did you read it? It's a very good. It's very worthwhile reading. Yeah. So Laban argues that Yaakov became rich and took all away his possessions. And then the night before Yaakov meets Esav, Yaakov endangered his life because he had forgotten 3 little containers. Even though he was very wealthy, Yaakov he nevertheless strangely risks his life to go and get those 3 little containers, right? Strange. Rabbi HaKadosh Meishbitzer Omer Kan Torah Me'od Kedosha. So the Ishbitzer Rebbe says a very holy teaching over here. דמיינו, אם כל פעם שאתם נכנסים אל ביתו של השכן, imagine every time you go into your neighbor's house, הכלב שלו מתחיל לנבוח ומנסה לנשוך אתכם. His dog tries to bite you. המארח שלכם מתנצל, and the host apologizes, כמובן, as you can imagine. ואומר, and he says, כמה שהוא מתבייש בכלב שלו, and he tells you he's so embarrassed from his dog, הוא מגרש אותו מהחדר, and he chases him out of the room. ולעומת זאת, and in distinction to that, דמיינו שאתם נכנסים לבית אחר, imagine you're going into another house, והכלב שלו שקט, and this guy's dog is so sweet and quiet, האווירה והאנרגיה הכלב בלבד. The difference in the atmosphere and the energy of the dog is not really dependent on the dog alone. זה מגיע מבעל הבית. It's really the dog is acting out what the master of the dog is like. Baal Chayim, right? That's the reality. We know that. Baal Chayim מתחבר לתת מודע שלי. Animals connect with my subconscious. אם התת מודע שלי בהיר, if my subconscious is clear, הכלב שלי לא נושך, and my dog doesn't go biting anybody. ואם בתת המודע שלי אני אלים, but if in my subconscious I'm a violent person, or threatening person, גם הכלב שלכם יתקיף את כולם, so then also the dog will be attacking. רבי משבצר אומר שגם החפצים שלי אינם מחוברים להכרה שלי. So this Mishnah says also my belongings are not connected to my conscious self. הם מחוברים לחלקים יותר עמוקים ונסתרים בתודעה. They're connected with deeper aspects of my being, deeper than my conscious aspect. If I like people, but not completely, it's also not going to be 100%. The Gemara says clearly that if my ox gored and killed the person, according to the emes, it's me who has to be put to death. Madua, why am I responsible? My ox gored somebody and killed somebody. I'm responsible. Madua, because if my ox killed somebody, that means that in me. And it's also true in the opposite direction. Adam Kadosh, a holy person, his kedusha also spreads to, it'll be easier for you here. His kedusha also spreads. What? Ah, okay. She's upstairs, I think. So then his kedusha also spreads to his belongings, right? I don't know if you've ever seen that in reality, but
Yes.
that is the reality.
It was like David Melech with his clothes.
I don't remember that particular
He
incident.
didn't treat his clothes with respect, so the clothes didn't cover him when he needed or something like that. I think it was
Reading
him.
children. in
But
that way,
that's a
too.
little bit different.
But
Over
it's
here we're talking
belongings.
about that
It's
your the things that you own absorb things about your personality
true.
and about your essence. Okay?
When a Kodesh person is around other, no, the other way. When other people are around a Yashar kind of a person, I've seen this.
They're more yashar.
They're more Yashar.
It's a Mishnah. That's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, right? You know, oil Rasha, oil Shchenoi, Tev Rasha,
Yes.
Tev Shchenoi, right?
I find that some people.
But you see,
with, I get all heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
No,
I verstehe dich.
I become more shittle hostile.
Yeah. So in other words, but even your objects, and I don't know if he's going to bring the story soon. You'll see it soon. When you go into a person's house, can already smell from the walls what kind of a person lives there. Even the stones in the wall absorb the atmosphere. A person might say, oh, there's no connection between me and the walls. He's just hanging out in this house. But that's not true. Maybe for us, people, we might have a hard time absorbing what kind of person we're dealing with. But animals, and even inanimate objects, they absorb everything. And it's, you see this in different ways. Like, for example, these guys, the police actually use these people. I don't know what they call them, but like a missing person or something like that, right? Uh-huh. So they'll bring an article of clothing to these. What do you call these guys?
Ghostbusters. No, but I know what you're talking about.
They
smell the clothes.
They get a sense of I forgot the word that I'm looking for. You know what I'm talking about? They could have just saying, but for example, I remember reading a case where there was a crime committed, and this person told the police, whoever was involved in the crime, there was a red pickup truck involved in it, and older wanted at the time. And years later, when they found it, they were right. So
Seance.
Huh?
Seance.
Not seance, but it's a different word. Yeah. In any case, and then there are people who do healing with hands. Laying on of hands. They can heal a person just with, like that. There was this famous doctor. What was his name?
Is it sensible?
Huh?
Sensible, or the person you were talking about?
Yeah, they talk about the healing with hands.
Yeah, but there was this famous one in the States that doctors would call them up and tell them about surgeries or patients that they were dealing with, and he was able to visualize what's wrong with that person over the phone, and he would tell the doctor exactly what kind of surgery the person needs and so on. Judy knows the name. It will come back to me.
Was he in Florida?
I don't remember, but we're talking about 100 years ago. Documented. His story is documented. So, why at the Western Wall Why do people have such a good feeling? Because it's connected with the Beit HaMikdash. Avanim shel Beit HaMikdash הם כבר משהו אחר. The stones of the Beit HaMikdash are ברור שהאבנים של בית המקדש והאבנים של מגדל בניו בניו יורק, סליחה, אינן אותו דבר. Obviously, the stones of the Kotel and the stones of the building in New York are not the same thing. By the way, when the Romans destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, so the stones from the Kotel to Rome. In fact, that little shul across the street over here, Yanina, is a community in Greece, and date back to the destruction of the second temple. And those Jews were on a boat being taken from Israel to Rome, and boats had to dock there in Greece because it needed repairs. So they got off the boat, and they actually, and they were transporting stones of the Beis HaMikdash to Rome. There are churches in Europe that have stones of the Beis HaMikdash built into the church. And I've heard stories of tzaddikim that they'd be walking in the street past the church, and they say, "You see that stone? That stone was from the Beis HaMikdash." So how do they know? Because when you're on a certain level of kedusha, you can sense these things. Okay. Rabbi HaKadosh me'apte bikir pam bebeito shel Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach. The Holy Abter Rebbe once visited the house of Reb Shlomo Carlebach. 100 years after Reb Shlomo passed away. After he was walking through the rooms of the house, he said, he said, in every room you can feel the taste of the fragrance of Gan Eden. Because the holiness of Reb Shlomo was still absorbed there. Let's go back to our topic. Until Yaakov Avinu, nobody raised any objections to money that belonged to a Jew. When did they first start? When did people first start making arguments over Jewish money? When the money became really Jewish. When Yaakov had gotten to this level, serving Hashem, not just on a conscious level, but beyond conscious. Even his money also became sanctified. As the money became kadosh, so the evil forces wanted to fight against it. And we were talking the other day. So this is the Indian of the klipot, the shells that block spirituality. They feed off things that are holy. That's why when you're davening and you get all these other thoughts that don't belong in the davening, it's basically the klipot are trying to feed off it. So let's say you're doing a mitzvah and you're being proud, you're feeling like, oh, look at this mitzvah that I'm doing, then you should know that the klipot just took it away from you, and they're feeding off it. So when somebody is really kadosh, then the klipot can't get it, but they try.
So the more close the person is, the more the klipot.
True.
That
Yeah. Whoever is bigger than his fellow also has a bigger Yisrael.
Yeah, very Polish person. I have all these forces fighting with me.
Absolutely, the whole. Yes, סיפור נפלא במדרש. There's an amazing story in the Medrash. מעשה היה בישראל אחד שהיה לו פרה אחת חורשת. There was a Jew that had a cow for plowing the field. התמעטה ידו אחד. So he needed the money and he sold the cow to a Gentile. כיוון שלקחה הגוי וחרשה עמו 6 ימים של חול, so the Gentile bought it and he worked with the animal for 6 days. בשבת הוציאה שתחרוש עמו, and then came Shabbos and he took the animal out to go and plow the field. ורבצה לו תחת העול, and the cow sat down under the yoke. היה הולך, she kept on hitting the cow, והיא איננה זזה ממקומה, and it wouldn't move. כיוון שראה כן, when he saw that, הלך ואמר לאותו ישראל שמכר לו, so he went to the Jew who sold him the kill paratcha. He said, take your cow back and give me back my money. Shema tza'ar yesh ba, maybe it looks like this is a problem. שהרי כמה אני מכה אותה, והיא אינה זזה ממקומה, no matter how much I'm hitting her, she just doesn't budge. אל הבין לומר, בשביל של שבת, והייתה למודה לנוח בשבת. There's a typo over here. But what it means is that the Jew said to the Gentile, yesterday was Shabbos. You know why it didn't work? Because this cow doesn't work on Shabbos. So the Gentile became full of fear. Amar, and he said, and so if a cow doesn't have much intelligence, got to know her creator, so I, who my creator fashioned me in his image, and gave me an intelligence, so I'm going to live a life without recognizing my creator. So he came and he converted. He learned a lot of Torah. And they called him Yochanan ben Tukta. And to this very day, there's a halacha that is stated in his name.
Torah meaning from the Torah.
What?
Torah meaning from the cow or from the Torah?
No, Yochanan ben Tukta from the Torah. So Esav lo hevin et zeh. Esav didn't understand this. Hu amar li Yaakov, he says to Yaakov, Al tisaper li habalim, don't tell me any nonsense. Shekdusha shel adam yechola litpashet el hachapatzim shelo. Don't tell me that a person's holiness can spread to his belongings. Aval ha'emet litzad Yaakov, but the truth is on Yaakov's side. Al pasuk ואהבת את השם אלוקיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מיודך. And the verse that you shall love, that you will love Hashem with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your possessions, מפרש רבינו בחייה, so it explains שבכל לבבך זה אברהם. That's referring to Avraham Avinu. בכל נפשך זה יצחק, right? יצחק הישוע עבור השם, he was ready to give his life for God. בכל מיודך, and to love God with all your possessions, זה יעקב אבינו, that's יעקב אבינו. כל מה שאני רוצה מאוד 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 של ליבי, everything that I want very very much from the depths of my heart, מתפשט לחפצים שלי, that spreads out to my belongings. Motcha, your belongings. Yaakov Avinu lamad me Avraham v'Yitzchak. Yaakov Avinu serving Hashem from Avraham and Yitzchak. V'hosif mishelo, and he also added his dimension. Mi'az Yaakov Avinu, Adam lo yachol lafsik lihiyot Yehudi. What makes Yaakov special is that from Yaakov and on, a Jew who's born a Jew cannot stop being a Jew. Right? Yaakov naga b'makom ha'amok biyater. Yaakov reached the deepest of places. Lachen siken Yaakov et chayav avur pachim ktanim, and that's why Yaakov took his life to go and get those little pachim those little containers, because they too, it's a Yaakov Avinu, Akadoshait Pashta Ad Lepach Katan. His holiness has spread even to a small little object. Shenaseh Pach Kadosh object had absorbed holiness. Yaakov Hayam Mochach Lachzor Lavi Oto. He had to go back and get it. So that's now there's a medrash that the Pachim Ktanim represent. The Yaakov and his family came across the river towards Eretz Yisrael, and then the Pachim Ktanim represent those Jews who are like a lower level consciousness, and they're not ready yet to come to Eretz Yisrael. And Yaakov Avinu goes back to get these people. Right? He doesn't give up on anybody, and that's the Pachim Ktanim as well. Another medrash says that this Pachim Ktanim was the little container with the oil that Noah had pressed from the olives that the bird brought him at the end of the. And that little Pach Katan, that Pach Shemen Katan, was the oil of the miracle of Hanukkah.
The oil's from before the flood?
And after the flood. So it's an important lesson to realize that who you are, what you are, affects your surroundings. Period. Understand? It's a reality. You develop your kedusha, things affected in a positive way. You go in a different direction, things around you are affected in that way too.
You just answered a question to me. I never could understand that there are some homies like on the Shabbos, literally feel the calm. I should say kedusha, but I feel the calm and the serenity and the shalom bayit. And the other homes, very, very nice people. And I sense tension, and I can't see it, but I feel it.
You feel it.
Yeah.
This could be it.
Michal, you're psychic.
Yeah.
No, the older I get, I'm more like my mother was. My mother was a very aware person. My mother was born before her time. She was a very aware person. She made her children aware too.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to anything my mother said until I was in my 60s. But by that time, she was in Judaism. So anyway.
But that's it's absolutely true. You can I've seen there was this guy who came in here with his parents once, sat down over here, and he said to his parents, "I don't want to leave."
I don't want to leave either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave this place.
Yeah. He just felt so good, in this room. And
It reminds us of your first story.
yeah.
The story of Jesus,
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't need to bother with that right now. Okay.
This jug was the one from Hanukkah, I'm guessing, the olive.
Yeah.
So once again, a person, I'm not sure if I had it clearly. A person surrounding the person. You got it wrong?
You have an aura.
Okay.
Aura is one of those English words that comes directly from the Hebrew.
Oh, yeah.
Aura.
Oh.
And you have an aura about you. There are people who actually can see your aura, can see the color of your aura, and so on. And your aura could be very positive and very healing, and your aura could be making people feel, get the heebie-jeebies, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I learned singing.
now the song that we sang before, "Vayivater Yaakov Levado," is from this verse that that this whole teaching was about.
Are we skipping the page?
No, I didn't skip a page. I didn't.
Didn't turn it over.
Wait. And there's a medrash in this verse, right? The songs of the words to the song that we sang were, "Nizgav Hashem Levado b'yom hahu," Hashem alone will be exalted on that day. It's talking about the end of days when Mashiach comes. And over here it says, "Vayivater Yaakov Levado." Yaakov was left all by himself. So the Medrash puts these two psukim together because of the word Levado. When it's Gav Hashem Levado, God is exalted all alone, and Vayivater Yaakov Levado. So the Medrash says that God is alone, but not really totally alone, because He has the children of Israel, and the children of Israel are alone, but we have Hashem. So that's why the Medrash puts those two verses together.
So those are the words of the song that you sang?
That we sang earlier. Yeah, you weren't here.
I was here for the song, I didn't know what the words were.
Yeah, those were the words. Yeah. So it's in other words, so the point of that medrash is that you should know that when you're feeling alone, you should know that you're not really alone, right? And another thing is that when you're feeling alone, maybe you should ask yourself, am I making Hashem feel alone? Am I causing Hashem to feel lonely?
God is beyond.
Yeah, but in other words, of course, and that's true. Like, what difference does it make if I do a mitzvah? If I don't do a mitzvah, does it really affect God? God is beyond, right? But it's the way the Torah speaks in human language, and we've got to have a language and a way of relating with Hashem. And Hashem makes Himself accessible to us so that we can actually have a relationship.
He's surrounded by millions of malachim.
Yeah, and yet He cares about every one of us. And this is where He wants to have His home. This is where He wants to have a dwelling place, here in the lowest of worlds. Okay, so Hashem communicates with us all the time. We just have to have we have to open our hearts and our minds and our eyes to see that Hashem is talking to me. And if I'm feeling lonely, so it's a good thing to ask myself, maybe Hashem is just sort of like knocking on my door and telling me, hey, can I get some of your attention? I don't know if God says hey, but can I have some attention? Can you give me a little bit? Can you give me the time of day, please? Right?
If somebody asks me, do you live alone? I can say, no, I live with God.
Yeah.
Can I also say I get along better with God than I do with some people? But
you could say that, but then Hashem is going to be upset.
Okay, I won't say that.
Okay, so Mr. Shem, tomorrow we'll
We sing that
continue.
song again.
V'nizgav Hashem levadoi, Hashem levadoi b'yayim ha'hu. V'nizgav Hashem levadoi, Hashem levadoi b'yayim ha'hu. V'yivasem Yaakov levadoi, v'yavek Ishai Amavada Loisa Shochar Avada Loisa Shochar Vivasem Yaakov Levadai Vayavek Ishima Yamavada Loisa Shochar Avada Loisa Shochar ונשגב השם לבדי, לבדי ביום ההוא, ונשגב השם לבדי, לבדי ביום ההוא, ויבשר יעקב לבדי, ויעקב ישיבה, Yosef Yaakov Levaday, Beautiful song. So if you hear somebody singing it differently, you'll know that they've changed it. Because what some people